Hello everyone, so welcome back. So in this video we'll see a demo on Redshift. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll search for Redshift, Amazon Redshift. Okay, to create a new cluster, okay, so first we need to click on create cluster. So here, so when I just expand this, okay, so even we have something called serverless cluster. Okay, so this is a new thing, but you need to select always like to create a cluster. Okay, so you need to select this provision cluster dashboard. Okay, so even we have a serverless also. Okay, so right now I'm under this provision clusters. Okay, so I'll just check whether some clusters are running. Okay, so there's no clusters. Okay, so let's go and create new so cluster name, so Redshift cluster name. So here, so what are you planning to use this cluster for? Okay, so if it is for production, so you need to choose this. So right now I'm just configuring for the learning Amazon Redshift, so I'll just go with the free trial. Okay, so I'll just scroll down and the sample data will be present. Okay, this is sample data which will be loaded to the Redshift cluster. Okay, so once we create this. Okay, so and this is important, so this admin username. Okay, so this is AWS user, and I'll give the password. Okay, so this is the password and click on create cluster. So Redshift cluster 1 is being created. Okay, it will take few minutes. Okay, so meanwhile let's see the documentation. Okay, so I have just opened, so these are the certain steps in the documentation to create the sample Amazon Redshift cluster. Okay, so to create a cluster, so as we have seen in the architecture. Okay, so what we have seen, so whenever if you want to connect with the Redshift, okay, Amazon Redshift, we need two types of drivers, right? So JDBC or ODBC. So we need to have those drivers. So you can first, you need to download those drivers. So in this video I'll be connecting with the SQL Server Workbench. Okay, so I'll just show you first to download the SQL Workbench. Okay, so just log into this www.sql workbench. So under this, click on to the, if I'm in the download. Okay, so I'm in the home section. So here we have current stable version. So I'll click on to this. So under this, you need to download general package for all systems, including all operational libraries, or you can even download this. But if you download this, you don't have Excel or open office spreadsheets. Okay, so I have already downloaded this. Okay, so this is, if you just try to download, so I'll just show you the where I have downloaded. So this is what the downloaded file. So here we have a jar file, that is executable jar file. So once you download, you need to unzip that. This is what you'll be getting. So executable jar file, I'll just open this. So this is how it basically looks. Okay, so SQL Workbench. So right now we don't have any connections over here. So this is one of the requirement, as I told you. So even we need Jdbc driver. So yeah, so you can just download the Jdbc driver from here. Okay, so whenever you are connecting to the creating the new cluster, right, so you'll have directly, you can just download the driver from here. Okay, so even this I have already downloaded. Even I'll just show you that. So it's here. So this is what the driver is. Okay, so I've just unzipped it. So even you can just search here, AWS Redshift Jdbc drivers. Okay, so you can just open this, which in the present documentation, and here you can just download the Jdbc drivers. But the best practice is to download the latest version of the Jdbc. Okay, so you can just download from here. So if we just look into the architecture. So this was I was explaining. So we have a client application. It could be anything. So here the client application we are using is Workbench, right? So to connect, to have the interaction between this workbench and the data warehouse, that is the Redshift. Okay, so we need a connectors, right? So here we're using a JDBC connectors. So this we have downloaded. Even we have downloaded the client application, that is Workbench. So even we need a Java runtime. Okay, so even you need to. These are the major three requirements. Okay, so you need JDBC, you need the some client application, and even you need a Java runtime. Okay, so you can just click on to this Java runtime and download for Windows or any other operating system. Okay, so okay, you even need to download this. So I've already downloaded all these things. I have just kept it ready. Okay, so you can see still right now it's in the modifying state. So I'll wait for this. So I'll be continuing. Okay, so once this is done. Yeah, so my cluster is running. Okay, you can see right now it's in available state. I'll just refresh. Okay, so let's open this, and here you can see the general information about the status of the cluster. Okay, when it was created, the number of nodes, okay, endpoints, these are very much important. Okay, so we have JDBC URL, we have ODBC URL, and we have endpoints. Before starting this, okay, so one main thing you need to do is just select this, because while we are connecting with the client application, we get few errors. Okay, so let's make this cluster publicly accessible. Okay, so I'll just click on to this modify publicly accessible settings. So right now it is disabled. I'll just enable this and save changes. Okay, so this is what you need to do it. Okay, so Redshift cluster 1 is being modified. Even it will take 1 or 2 minutes. Fine, so I just changed this, so now it's available. So I'll just click on to this. um, okay, so even I have just opened my workbench. So to connect with the Sql Workbench, so let's go to File, Connection Window. So here we need to uh, give some of the details to connect with our warehouse. So before getting started, so what you do is go to the manage drivers, and wherever you have kept your jar file, okay, just select that. I'll just show you once again. So this is my Redshift JDBC. Okay, so under this I've just selected this Redshift JDBC executable jar file. Okay, so this is what you can see here. You can just browse it from here. I've just saved on and click OK. So here the first you need to give the profile name. So by default I'll keep it new profile. So here the driver is Redshift. Okay, I'll just select the Redshift, and here you have to provide the URL for ODBC, sorry, JDBC URI, right? So I'll just copy this. I'll come here and I'll paste it. So this is the username, AWS user. Okay, so even though if you forget like what is the username again, you can just access everything from here itself. Okay, so under this property section, so you can find what is the username, um, what is the date, what is the port. Okay, so you can see the admin username is AWS user. Okay, I've just given the AWS user and I've entered the password. Okay, so just check this auto commit. Okay, so let's uh, test this and click on OK. So it's connecting to the database. Okay, so we're getting few errors. What you can do is let's go to the properties. So under this network and security settings, I'll go to the security group. Under the security group, I'll just select this and I'll edit the inbound rules. So here I'll select custom TCP, and the port number is 5439, 5439, and even let's add my IP. Or else one way is, what I can do is I'll go to clusters. So here manage, modify. So here uh, okay, fine. So if I um, so under the network and the security settings, okay, so go to the security groups once again. So here you need to in the security groups, just go to the edit inbound rules and add this, that is uh, Redshift, okay, TCP, and port range is 5439, and you need to select your my IP. Okay, so I've just saved this. So this you need to change or you'll get errors. Okay, so I've just already saved this. Okay, fine. So this is done. So now if I um, go and check, so go to the connect window. Okay, so just check where everything is fine and click on OK. Okay, so it's connecting database. You can see it's got connected. Okay, so we have connected to the Redshift. Okay, so now let's verify the steps whatever we have done. So first we have created a sample cluster, right? So after creating a sample cluster, so next we need to configure the rules for the SQL client. Okay, so this step is very much important. I'll just show you once again. So if you go in the Redshift, if you in the Redshift general section, that is general information section, go to the properties. Under the properties, go to the security group. Under the security group, edit inbound rules and change this. Okay, and save. Okay, so now you will not get any errors. So then try to connect with the Sql Workbench. Fine. So this was the second step, and third step is to grant access to one of the query editors. Okay, so which you've already done. Okay, so next is load the data from Amazon S3 to the Amazon Redshift. Okay, to do this, okay, we need to create a IAM role. So if you just go to the Redshift, so if you just scroll down, we have something called associate IAM roles, which I have already associated. Okay, so you can just click on to this add role, and I've just attached this. Okay, so what does this role shows? So basically I'm just giving a full access to the S3. So this is what the Amazon S3 read-only access. Fine. So here first we need to create tables. Okay, so once we create a tables, then we need to upload the data to the S3, right? So which I've already done to save time. So I'll just show you. So if I just go to the uh, to my S3 bucket. Okay, so S3, so I've created a bucket name. So the bucket name is iNeuron Redshift. So under this I have uploaded all the data from where I'm just getting it. So you can see, so we need to download this ticket db.zip. So unzip it and upload in the bucket. Okay, so this is what the sample data we are getting. So this is the tables which you need to create. Okay, so you can just directly copy this and paste it here under this tab, under this section, right? So I've just already created. So if I just try to run it, so all this has been already created. So to show you, I've already pasted, and let's try to run this. Okay, so you can see, so sales already exists. This all tables are already existed. Okay, so this is what, so till here we have completed everything, right? So starting with creating a sample cluster, then configuring the inbound rules, then granting access to the queries, and load the data from Amazon S3 to Redshift. So to load the data, first we need to create a table, which I've already created, and we need the data. So from where we are getting the data, so just download the zip and upload all the files into your bucket. Okay, so which I've already uploaded. So next step is Okay, so next step is we need to copy that particular data from S3 to my client application, right? So this is what the command is. I'll just show you one. So I'll just copy this. So if I just scroll down and paste it over here, so I need to change few things from here. So first is I need to copy users from S3, so I need to change the bucket name and region, and even I need to give the IAM role ARN. Okay, so let's change this. So here I need to give the bucket name. So okay, first let's copy everything. So this is so this is done. All users pipe, then venue, then for the category pipe, then date, all events. We are just copying the data, listing, and sales tab. Okay, so we need to change. So first is we need to give the all users pipe.txt. So before that, let's give the IAM role. So here I need to write credentials. AWS IAM role equals. So from where I can get the ARN. So if I just go to the Redshift, so this is my so let's refresh this and check whether we have added the IAM role. Yeah, I can see Redshift IAM is in sync. If I open this, so here I have the ARN. I'll just copy this and paste it over here. And the region is US East 1. So okay, it's in the Mumbai. Okay, so AP South 1. I think this is in different region. Yeah, then again I'll get error because this is in different region. Okay, no worries. Let's try this. So this is in US East, US East 1. So US East 1. You can see, so in the S3 bucket, so I've uploaded this iNeuron Redshift, right? So this is in the US East 1. So let's try to run this one and check. Sorry, I have not given them my bucket name. Sorry. Yeah. So if I go to the Redshift. So here I am looking for all users pipe.txt. Is all users pipe.txt. Copy S3 URI. Okay, so let's run now. Yeah, so it got executed. Yeah, so load warning, load data into a completed. So it has totally 49,990 records. So similarly, so even we need to change this. So next is venue pipe. So this is the venue pipe. I'll just select this, copy S3 URI. So I'll copy the same credential and US raised one. Let's run. Okay, it has 202 records, venue. So next is category pipe. Control V. So let's run this category pipe. It has 11 records. So next is date 2008 pipe. So date 2008 pipe, copy S3 URI. So let's run this. Yeah, it has 365 records. So we have three more. Let's do it quickly. First, I'll just replace this everything. Next, I need all events. So next is listings pipe. And last we have sales tab. Okay, so let's run all three. Okay, it got executed. So event has 8794 records. Okay, so listing we have almost near to 1 lakh. Okay, and finally sales, one statement failed. Okay, so load data, sales failed, stack STL, load errors. um Sales tab. Is everything is correct here? Sales tab. Load into table sales fail. Check STL load errors. Tables for the details. Okay, I think the delimiter is different for this. Sales tab. Yeah, so delimiter is /t for the sales tab. Okay, so that is I'm getting error. Sales tab it is slash. Okay, so this is the format for sales tab. It is /t, right? Okay, so if I go to my S3, it should work fine now. And let's, this is your East one. Okay, you can see even it has 1,70,456 records. Okay, got executed. Okay, so first is we have created the table. Next we have copied the data from the S3. Okay, so and the next step is to try some of the examples. Okay, so you can see, so here we have few examples. I'll just copy this everything. Let's try to execute. Okay, uh, here main motive is to understand like how to connect, and this is uh, once you know how to connect and play around, rest everything can just do it, right? So if I just try to run, yeah, so we're getting the result. Fine, so this is how um, we create cluster and connect with the client application. Okay, so this is what the architecture, if you remember the architecture, rest everything is you can just connect play around with the different connectors and and give here there is set of examples. Okay, you can just play around it. Okay, so you can see like we are getting 4 different tables because we have getting 4 queries here. um, okay, so let me know if you have any doubts in the comment section. So I'll just revise whatever we have done. Okay, so to connect with the Redshift. Okay, I'll just open the okay, to connect with the AWS Redshift. Okay, so we need a few components to get started. So one first main thing is need to decide the client application. So in this demo we used SQL Workbench. Okay, and the second step is, so we need a driver to connect client application as well as the AWS Redshift. So here in this demo we have used Jdbc, so that you can just download while you're creating the cluster itself, right? So I've just showed you that. And the next step And the next step, okay, so we need a Java runtime. Okay, you need to install that. Okay, so these are the necessary components which is required. Okay, so once you have all the necessary components, so first you need to go to the Redshift, click on create a new cluster. Okay, so once you create, so from here you can just download JDBC. Okay, create cluster. So once you create a cluster, this is what the status is. So before getting started, let's click on to this and go to the actions and modify the public access settings. So once you're done, go to the Redshift cluster. Okay, go to the properties, and under the network and security group, go to the security group. So under the security group, you need to change the inbound rules. Okay. So if you're not making these changes, you'll get an error. Okay. So while connecting with the client applications. So here I've just changed to the Redshift and I have added my IP. So once you're done with this, go to your client application, go to the file, connect, and first step here is to give the JDBC jar file. So once you have connected, go to the driver, create a profile, the driver name, URL, then username and the password, and click OK. So then the database will be get connected. So this is the overview how to connect with the Redshift.